Mass immigration is unacceptable. Why has the Democratic Party betrayed Black America when we have been their most loyal constituents? Why have Black politicians betrayed Black Americans?
Hello and welcome to another episode. My name is Dwyan. Thank you for tuning in. On this video, we're going to be looking at immigration and the effect it has, or maybe doesn't have, on Blacks in America.
Black people are being pushed back. Illegal immigrants are being propped up.
So about 14 days ago, a couple of weeks ago, the Center for Immigration Studies had a press conference or a presentation, and we're going to look at this video and really see and get an understanding and answer this question. Does immigration affect positively, negatively, Blacks in America? So stay tuned and let's get right into it.
And we are a center-right organization. So I'm saying this to say that the majority of the people that actually call or I come in contact with usually are center-right. Something has changed. I get more phone calls from elite Black liberals than I do from conservatives or people who lean conservative that are Black. And what has changed over the last two and a half, 3 years?
Key point. What has changed in the last 2.5 years? So I think it's clear she's more conservative, right-leaning, and she's been getting calls from liberal Blacks who are left-leaning, right? Something's been happening in the last 2 years, so let's see what it is.
Illegal immigration. I get phone calls at 11 o'clock in the morning from pastors, from leaders of NGOs, from community leaders, asking for my help that would never have the same policy and believe in the same policy issues that I do. But they're asking for help because for the first time, the straw that broke the camel's back is mass illegal immigration in Black communities.
Bam.
I have a large network in Chicago of Black pastors who called and said, can you help us? There's reality and there's perception. And we need to not understand how powerful perception is. Here's the perception of African American males. They think that mass immigration of illegal immigrants in their community is so that they can swap out Black people for brown. They believe that they're put there deliberately to take those jobs. Low industry, low skilled jobs that are historically held by African American males. They believe that they're there to displace them so that they don't have economic power so they can be pushed back. Second,
okay, very key, very important. And I'm going to be covering this. Remember, she says low-skilled Black men. Very important, okay, because the immigrants who are coming in, by and large, the majority of them that are coming into the Black cities are low-skilled. And I'm going to show that either in this video or in a future video, because I'm going to continue on this immigration topic, okay? And here's the thing to remember, okay? And by the way, low-skilled or unskilled work just means work where you don't need a degree or some type of certification in order to get the job, right? Those are called unskilled or low-skilled work, and that is the area we're focusing here on.
They believe that they're there so that they can take control of their community. I hear from leaders in Black urban communities that bid you, don't lean right, are saying to me that they're meeting with people and they're seeing these immigrants in their community actually recruiting members to be gang members. Why? Because they want to take control of the community. They believe that there's a plot to make sure that there is no Black ownership of businesses, of housing, because they have deliberately planted all of the illegal immigrants purposely in minority communities to sow discourse. The last thing that I would hate to say, but it's true, is that they believe that the left is deliberately setting up a scenario where there's going to be a racial war not between Black and white, but between Black and brown. The fact that the majority of the illegal immigrants that you've seen in the last year are actually male, military age individuals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those individuals have been incarcerated, gang members, all of these situations, that we have a community that the Biden, I call him lock him up Joe, right? He didn't just take fathers out of the house, he took fathers out of the community completely. So there's already a shortage of Black males in the community. Now you're putting mass amounts of Black Army ready illegal immigrants in there. What do you think is going to happen? Now, perception is a powerful thing. For the first time, you have Black males who historically lean left that are all of a sudden moving to the right. Why? Because economically, they're being pushed down the ladder, and these other people are coming, illegal immigrants, that are being pushed forward and on a pedestal. Imagine this, and I was thinking about this. The average income, median income for African Americans, just nationwide, $35,700 odd a year. That's somebody that's doing well. That's the median income. That translates to about a little bit over $31,000 a month pre-tax. $3,100 a month pre-tax. If you add in the 15%, because they still have to pay tax, that's about $2,600 a month. From that, take away rent, which the average is $1,500 a month. In Chicago, $1,800 a month. If you're lucky, you can share an apartment with somebody, maybe not. So you're deducting that. Now you got to take out your transportation costs. You have to take out your food costs. Legal immigrants can come into this country. They get $2,200 a month for SSI. They get free rent. So let's add that. $2,200 average, $1,500 in free rent. They're already up to $3,700 a month. Then you add in, and if you use the Eric Adams model, they get another $1,400 in a debit card to pay for food and clothing and whatever accessories. So now you have people on this end who might have about $400 a month to spend. If they're probably going to be in the hole because they got other accessories that come up. These people over here are actually living an upper middle class life. Why? They're being rewarded for crossing the border illegally. And that doesn't even include the fact that they get free college. They get free health care. So the perception is actually meeting reality when you see that there are people who have been fighting for freedom. And when you hear people say racism, when you hear Black people say racism, what they're talking about is financial freedom, financial stability. I don't feel as financially stable as this person over here that's doing well, or this person over here that can afford all their bills, this person that can take care of their families. And in this sense, Black people are being pushed back, illegal immigrants are being propped up. So all of a sudden, individuals that haven't even achieved financial freedom, haven't achieved it, fighting for decades, are now looking at people who have an insurmountable amount of financial freedom. I want to give you another story. I was in Memphis, Tennessee for the last 3 weeks. Federal Express was laying off natural born citizens to hire illegal immigrants. They were laying them off, not only them, but it was another large company that you would know, laying off legal citizens to replace them with illegal immigrants. In the city of Chicago, the school board is considered a sanctuary city, which means that illegal immigrants get preferential treatment in hiring over natural legal citizens.
Bam.
They automatically get 2 board seats without running on the school board over natural citizens. Who's getting pushed to the back of the bus? I can tell you something, we're holding on to the tailpipe of the bus. We're not even riding in it after you put the amount of benefits that illegal immigrants have. It was really a slap in the face when the city of Chicago opened up closed schools to house illegal immigrants.
This is very interesting. I want to point out a study or an analysis that was done, and I'll put a link to this in it. And this comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, everybody, right? From the Department of Labor. So this is not me just throwing things out without any type of sources. And like I said, this is going to be in the, let me try and, in the description, so if anybody wants to take a look at it, right? So let's look at this, right? And I want to point out, so these are the highlights from the and this is, again, this is 2023. This is not some 1890, 1956. This is 2023. This is right new data. Look what they found. They found a lot of things, and I'll get into this perhaps in another video. But look at this point right here that I'm highlighting, right? Foreign-born men continue to participate in the labor force at a considerably higher rate in 2023 than their native-born counterparts. Okay, very interesting. And then here's the kicker right here. In 2023, not 1993, in 2023, foreign-born workers were more likely than native-born workers to be employed in service occupations, natural resources, construction, maintenance occupation, and in production, transportation, and material moving occupations, so-called low-skilled or unskilled jobs. Some people might even say black jobs, and that's a whole another thing. Okay, so you heard that. Foreign-born workers are more likely than native-born workers to be employed in these occupations. So this is, again, the study is going to be in the link, and this is what they found. And that's exactly what she said that FedEx was doing. So the immigration policy, that it really does affect Black Americans, and that's something I'm going to be showing you more and more and more. I just don't want to make the videos too long. But she did mention the so-called Adams model, right? And that is, and she's referring to the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. Let's hear from the mouth of Eric Adams himself.
I inherited 180,000 migrants and asylum seekers that can't work, that we have to house them every day. I inherited.
You called for a lot of them too, though.
No, we didn't, brother.
You said it was a sanctuary city. You told them.
Okay, let's see. That's why it's important.
Okay. Let's listen to what Eric says. This is very, very key.
That's why it's important to have this conversation, because sanctuary city and the migrants and asylum seekers are two different issues. Sanctuary city, if you're undocumented, we can't turn you over to ICE or authority. Migrants and asylum seekers were paroled into here. They're here legally. They were paroled into. But what the federal government did and Governor Abbott did, they said, we're going to send them up to Chicago, New York, Boston. And the federal government is saying, Eric, you can't allow them to work. You got to give them housing. You can't stop the buses from coming in. You cannot turn them over to ICE. All of that is illegal. If I do that, we're breaking law. So when people,
you heard that? All of that is illegal. They're not allowed to work because they're asylum seekers. They don't have authorization to work in the United States of America, and they cannot apply for work authorization because they're asylum seekers. Okay? So that means the burden of taking care of them, because he's not allowed to turn them over to ICE, as he said. He's not allowed to send them back. He cannot stop the buses from coming in. Now, let's listen to the man that he mentioned in that, which is the governor of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott. And he was recently at the RNC. Listen to what he says.
When Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to even come to Texas and to see the border crisis that they created, I took the border to them. I began busing illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C. And we have continued busing migrants to sanctuary cities across the entire country. And those buses will continue to roll until we finally secure our border.
So you see, you heard that straight from him, right? So Eric Adams is not lying. The governor said that he's been doing it and he's going to continue to do it. Okay, let's see what else Adams got to say.
people look at the migrants that are here. We didn't call people to come here. They were sent here by Governor Abbott, and the failure to secure our borders is allowing this to continue. And we're not getting any money from. We got about $100 million out of a $4 billion price tag.
Okay, well, there you have it, everyone. We heard from Donna from the Center for Immigration Studies. We heard from the New York mayor and the governor of Texas. They're all corroborating the story. It's really the Democratic administration, the current administration, that is really have this, I guess you got to call it an open border policy. Texas is one of the border states. Republican governor, by the way, we saw him at the RNC. He is paroling, busing hundreds of thousands of migrants across. And where are they going? They're going, as he said, to sanctuary cities. They're going to basically New York, Washington, D.C., Chicago, you know, the big cities where you have the highest population of minorities, and in particular, blacks. And it does have an effect, because a lot of these migrants, the majority of these migrants are asylum seekers. They're not, which means that they're not allowed to work. Eric Adams told you that they can't work and they have to take care of them. These are people, they need to be housed, they need to be fed. And obviously this is a serious challenge for these cities. And it does seem, as Donna explained, that a lot of black people who perhaps are of the liberal or left-wing persuasion are not happy about it. They see what this is going, and as she said, their perception is actually meeting reality. And what is their perception? That these people are intentionally put there in order to displace blacks, in order to push blacks back. That's what they said. So I think that's very interesting. I'm going to continue to look at this issue of immigration. It does seem that it's very, very, very interesting. And remember that study, and the link is going to be in the description, which said that foreign-born are more likely to be higher than the native-born in service occupations in low skilled or unskilled work, okay, where a large number of Black Americans are represented. Okay, you can see here on this chart once again, I'll just put this up, you can see that, and this data comes from the 2020 census, the United States Census 2020. You can see that the Black population in America, 28%, almost 1 in 3 Blacks are working literally in these service occupations. They're the highest, okay? And remember, these people are also going into the cities where Black populations are at its highest. So there is a relationship here between mass immigration or illegal immigration and the effect that it has on the Black community. It remains to be seen how much of that effect is. I'll be looking into it, and I appreciate you guys for joining me. I would love to hear your comments on this. This is a very interesting issue. We really need to understand immigration and immigration policy. It's going to be very critical, in my opinion, with regard to the upcoming presidential elections, and we're going to look into it. So I thank you guys for joining. Once again, please, I would love you to subscribe. I am going to continue talking about this and other things that affect Blacks in America. Please like, comment, share, all the good stuff. I appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, be good, be safe, and keep learning.